got a tale that'll send shivers down your spine. It involves a beautiful girl with an optimistic mind. She was so positive and kind, constantly trying to find a way to combat the negative, to push it out of her life so she could keep a jolly smile. But her stepfather was vile. He had no love for the child, but he did love shoving her down, watching her drown in her own tears from all of the sadness. This man was a product of hatred and pure madness, a cold-hearted bastard, a booze abuser and bruiser, drug user who always had an excuse for his boorish behavior. It's like he had no normal human nature. A few times he'd take her to the room that she hated, knowing there was no escape for her, cause who would save her? Praying to the Savior for brighter days before it's too late. She doesn't wanna lose her faith. Now it's another beautiful day. It's marvelous outside, but she can't enjoy it. Darkness is starting to consume her brain due to the pain. Headed out the door for another day of school, sitting on the bus just trying to keep her cool. She can feel the waterworks coming with her nose running, feels the need to tell someone but best that they know nothing. It's too much, she feels her pulse jumping. If she called the law when he first hit her jaw, would they have done something? Or would the monster have assured the officers that he never laid a palm on her? And after they walked off the porch, he'd make sure to shut and lock the door. She wondered how many hours would he have popped her for. She would have been throttled for sure. Broken bottles on the floor, and he always stocks more. This man was rotten to the core. He'd make her walk to the store, even in monstrous storms. While in class, when she was called to the board, couldn't solve the problem, too caught up in the one that's ignored. Here's the last bit with grim situations to depict. I don't know if I should finish, but okay if you insist. The girl of my story contacted her sis, decided to tell her how stepdaddy been grabbing her wrist. The times he would smack her when pissed, and when he'd ask for a kiss, she knew she better comply or feel the wrath of his fist. The sister hated finding out about these tragic events. She said, pack your bags, go out back, and I'll be there in a minute. Boy, she meant it, straight up filled with venomous intentions, itching for vengeance against the son of a bitch who killed the innocence of her sister. All of her thoughts turned bitter. She could picture the menacing liquor swigging figure grinning at her. It made her madder. Meanwhile, little sis is taking the risk, moving swift, put her shoes on and she did it real quick. She's got a split, then she heard a voice behind her that made her stiff. She was afraid to take a glance, knowing he'd do the same offense he'd been doing day in and day out. The same abuse that made her scared, too frightened to lay down. Something snapped saying, make the sucker pay now. Show him you don't play around. She laid all of her packed things to the ground. She blacked out. Next thing, she awoke, startled to the sound of sirens blaring, surrounded by a crowd. Excited chatter just traveling around. Her big sis was talking to the cops with a frown. She wished she could read her mouth, wondering what the conversation's about. Took one look to the side of her, feeling quite disturbed, but then a sly little smirk formed on her face. Now that monster's in a horrible place, but that didn't leave her torment erased. That was inside of her brain, it still tore at her, dang. While she tried to form a way to say something, the law assured her there won't be any charges for self-defense against torture.